Well, welcome back to day one of the North American Star League. That last game brought to you guys by iBuyPower. Thanks to iBuyPower for their systems that power the North American Star League. We're observing on iBuyPower PCs. You could be too, if you went and bought one. iBuyPower.com.
I must say, iBuyPower is a pretty cool name
It's
for your
pretty
company.
sick, right?
Yeah. The guy who figured that one out, he's
Think about how much power you could have bought if you didn't go to Vegas.
Seriously, I'm starting to hate you so much right now. I might just walk off this cast real soon and cry myself to sleep.
All right. Game 2, Stephano versus TT1 is loading. The second map is going to be Shakuras Plateau. It is a pretty big macro map. Been around for a while. It's quickly becoming a classic. And I think this is a map that TT1 should feel pretty comfortable playing on, Kev.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty nice map for Protoss against Zerg. As soon as we are in game, of course, I am going to introduce your players. We do see TT1 on your screen right there. Stephano is the mystery man, but we know
everybody knows what Stephano looks like. That silhouette needs much more hair.
Stephano, of course, being our pink Zerg spawning on the left top side of this map, and MTW TT1 being our blue Protoss spawning on the right top side of this map. Interesting, by the way, Ben. Two things: TT1 and Stephano, I do not believe have ever met in a competitive circumstance, which
yes, you're right. They've
surprised me quite a bit. Or maybe there is some data that I'm not aware of. Maybe a small online cup, but nothing that I could find.
Nothing on the record.
And well, this is Stephano's first season in the NASL. But TT1, of course, did play both seasons, and he even made it to the final of the NASL season too.
He was at the playoffs last season. We hung out with him a lot backstage.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy.
You guys talked a lot about two-base all-ins.
Yes, that's what I always do with my Protoss friends.
My favorite Stephano statistic, Kev, is his ZVP. In the last 35 ZVPs he's played, he's only lost 6. Of all the ZVP series he's played this year, he's only lost 3. So that's pretty legit.
Inori, the funny thing is, it's actually one of the series that he lost against Inori, and then Idra, out of all people, had to be the one who beat Inori afterwards.
Idra's interview about that was actually so funny. He was like, "Yeah, Stephano was sitting behind me, and after I won, he just walked away in disgust because he's got. I mean, Idra will admit it too. Stephano's ZVP is better than Greg's, but in that case, Greg was the better. On that day, Greg was the better ZVPer.
He sure was. TT1 just harassing a little bit with his probe. No biggie yet. This time he did not open with a Forge, so he's going Nexus first, which I kind of like. I mean, people just got better and better dealing with those pylon blocks, so you might as well just try to do it with this. Go Nexus first, because if you drop a pylon over here, it's very unlikely that Stephano is still going to run across the map straight away. Will most likely take it out. TT1 should worry at least a little bit, though. I would love to see him.
Gets it down. No block at all. Probe was even there, man. It's a small mistake.
I'm starting to worry a little bit if TT1 can get his wall off in time. Maybe it just goes double gateway again, and then it should still be in time. But I do not actually think that this pylon reaches. No.
No, it doesn't. So maybe with another pylon.
Yeah.
In the probe park there. I don't know. Stephano's only making 2 links though, so TT1 doesn't really have to worry about that.
No, but this is something you don't know if you're TT1. Oh no, he actually does get it off.
What is this?
Good SimCity right here.
Surely
by TT1.
he's going to cancel that third one.
That's one.
Oh, it's a Forge. No, wow, I'm so smart. Learned to click on the freaking warp in bubble.
That's why you still have a gold type in.
Oh, dude. I swear, but it's flappy. Oh, man.
19 probes, 20 probes right now for TT1, 19 for Stephano. With these positions, if he wants to go for Warp Prism once more, the air distance isn't that big, so he might be able to pull something like that off. But since it really wasn't all that effective in the previous map, since Stephano is so good at splitting up his army, I mean, that's pretty much what makes Stephano, just the fact that he most of the time always has units in a position where some players won't have them. This is actually, for most Warcraft 3 players, this has been the hardest transition. Warcraft 3, we always used to love to keep our army together. We only had 90 supplies, so every unit was super important. And you just do not leave 2 or 3 units somewhere else.
You also had recall though, so that was a little bit.
Yeah, teleport. But just that's the fact. I really, it still gives me a hard time to often just leave a couple of stalkers, deal with drops.
Yeah.
Stephano just became so extremely good with it.
Punishes people for it.
Playing with Warp Prisms against him, maybe not the best idea, but we'll see.
If TT1 were to try something like that, it would be substantially harder to scout this time. But we'll see. We'll see. I would also be surprised if TT1 just went and did the exact same thing. Stephano is doing what Stephano often does. He's taking that fast third base, adding those gases. He's taking 2 gas right here at about the 6-minute mark, around 44 supply.
Once again, 2 Zealots are going to make their way over across the map. Let's see if he's going to keep it at 2 Zealots or if he's going to add some more additional Zealots. This time it might be a little bit annoying for Stephano, because Stephano right now only has 2 Zerglings in the back. Good job right there with TT1 turning around with that Pro, picking off a Zergling. So far so good.
Well, you know, there's no units out for Stephano. He's not building any units.
So this might actually be annoying for this Queen.
Oh, what a terrible time to be supply blocked. This Queen could very possibly gonna die. Oh man, Stephano's still blocked. Finally, an Overlord pops.
And he just used that larva as well, so he only has 1 larva right now. This is actually going to be annoying for Stephano. He's going to have to run around with the Queen, and he's even going to have to retreat those drones. Come on,
There's this little
TT1.
dance around the hatchery.
Split them up. You should go 1 here, 1 here.
The old A move, and now TT1's like, all right, fine, I'll just leave.
I felt they could have gone more out of that.
Yeah, I would think so. But a couple Lings will pop out finally, but this time with Lings and the Queen. Should be okay for Stephano. We can see him shift flicking on the Zealots. Good control by Stephano. Pulls the Queen.
Oh, 4 HP.
Just in time.
Very risky, but when it's Stephano, then it's almost not gambling anymore. Anyway, TT1 has been doing a good job at the probe count. That's all that matters really in this phase of the game. 44 against 42. Now we did just see 13 drones at once. That's of course the beauty of playing Zerg. The robotics facility is ready. 2 more gates as well. So far an identical build from TT1. I'm a little bit worried about it.
Identical except for the fact that he's got these pylons out on the map here. So that's a little bit of a variation. I think we will see, obviously we're going to see these sentries tried to be dropped somewhere.
How cool would it be if
well, yeah, I guess we'll just warp in on these other pylons. Zealots into the 3rd. Yeah, looks like it will be.
Oops, sorry guys.
To the T, exactly the same thing.
Stephano did spot that pylon though, so he knows it's there. He knows he has to worry about that.
If it pulls his army out of position, then it could mean that Prism Harass is a little bit more effective.
Only at 6 gates right now.
Prism is out.
2 Zealots right now gonna run, but Stephano of course didn't know about that probe. He knows about that pylon as well. So I'm not sure that TT1 should send those units, and that's exactly what he doesn't do. That is a good move. These 4 sentries right now are gonna make their way over to Stephano's main base. He doesn't have anything here right now, but he only has 4 gates.
No, there's nothing there, and like we said, it's a little bit harder to scout at this time. And wow, as soon as the sentries show up, 3 roaches pop out and just kind of chill. So Stephano's looking pretty fine. 5 roaches are here. It's like map hacks in his brain, man. He just knows. I think it's in his hair, actually.
Yeah, so that's why he hides it. Roach speed is more than halfway done. TT1 is just following this up with 100% the same as he did in the previous game. Thermal Lens is being researched, Colossus is on the way, and what I would really love to see is just him getting more Immortals with that push, because then it's just so much more effective against roaches. I think he's going to delay his push a little bit more this time, because I feel he has more gates.
I'm sorry, I was laughing. I was just thinking about when I saw the screenshot of Stephano playing in control, and Stephano's like, "Hello, large butt man." He was like, "Hello, awful hair guy." It made me
Stephanos'
giggle.
hair is pretty awesome.
It is pretty epic.
16 roaches on the way right now for Stephano, so he's gonna have enough, more than enough roaches.
Is TT1 gonna do the same all in?
Yeah,
It's just all right. Didn't work last time, but this time it's Shakuras. So
I love the
it's
cruise
more
spread
open.
over here, by the way, on the high ground for Stephano, because he knows he has to deal with a warp prism. It could actually be annoying if like TT1 start warping in a lot of units over here on the high ground. Having a little bit of cruise spread there always could alert you faster, and also makes it easier for your units to actually deal with units on the high ground. So really good play right there by Stephano.
And when he takes that hatchery down there, it means Queens can easily march up. No big deal at all. So all good stuff. Stephano will probably be maxed by the time TT1 leaves his base.
And then the cruise spread is going to be really important.
This isn't a well thought out all in, man.
No,
like this is the worst way you can all in Stephano. I'm going to push with Colossi when you max with 140 supply.
Yeah, but maybe actually because he knows that he's going to wait much longer this time. If he stays till 165 or 170 supply, then moves out. He's fighting a maxed out roach army. Then it would be a whole lot scarier for Stephano, even though he could counterattack. That's probably what he should do. TT1, you're really going to need Immortals. He's going to get 1 more Colossus. Just don't get it.
Yeah. Well.
There's no burrow though.
Yeah, actually it's really late. Just now starting burrow and tunneling claws. But Stephano doesn't have to fight the army. He can counterattack as well.
Yep, that's always very, very good against 2 base all-ins. Certainly when you have these many roaches, he has 52 roaches on the map.
But he is in fact going to counterattack. TT1 going to back up. Does get a couple of really nice force fields. So that, once again, that initial engagement goes well for TT1. But now Stephano's like, hey bro.
I feel that these force fields, the only thing that they actually do is keep his army alive.
Yeah.
They don't really kill much. Stephano's just going to run into the expand right now of TT1 with so many roaches, might pick up this robotics facility.
Literally what we said was going to happen. Stephano's staying max, that burrow up quickly finishing. Unpowers the Robo, is killing everything in the main base of TT1. This is literally going about as poorly as it could for poor Pyam.
Stephano's still maxed out right now. That's almost ridiculous. He's going to pick off a lot of units over here, killed a lot of probes over here. But actually, man, as silly as this sounds,
let's take a third.
Colossus is running really low on HP right now. No micro right there by TT1, so he ends up losing that Colossus too. Should be really careful with this one because he only has 2 left. Beautiful micro right here by Stephano, moving those roaches literally below the Colossus, making that one off too.
And then there was one, and I don't know if it's going to stay alive for long, Kev. The last Colossus immediately gets picked away by these roaches. A lot of sentries going to fall here. Tunneling Claws is done now, so Stephano can just march right in. He chooses to do so.
There's still so many roaches left in the main base. It's so annoying. Burrow being used as well. This is, wow.
This is a great play. Stephano doing it right.
Le massacre, as the French would say.
Indeed it is. I bet you right now Stephano's eating a baguette. And,
Stephano is like, just made $150 in the middle of the night. Back to sleep.
Reading some poetry.
He almost got rich when he dreams.
Oh man, loses the Nexus in the main, does TT1. Stephano, meanwhile, taking a 4th base, adding macro hatcheries, letting his macro slip a little bit. He's up to 1,600 minerals and about 300 gas.
Huge force fields right here, but yeah. Obviously you guys can feel as well that it just doesn't really matter anymore. Even though Stephano only has 152 supply right now, but he has an insane economy. TT1 is mining off 1 base right now. What I want to say, Ben, before all those roaches really started to attack in the main and in the natural at the same moment, I actually felt it was the best thing that could have happened to TT1 because that attack would have never worked. So I thought maybe right now if he actually starts defending,
kills all that stuff.
Yeah, and he kills quite a bit and he goes up to 160 supply, maybe he can actually then get a push out which will work. But
you know, this push, he's got a lot of army supply, 80 army supply, a ton of sentries.
80 army supply without immortals against 125.
He just built an immortal, so he's got 1.
We hope, man.
Yeah, Stephano could just ignore it and base race and win, or he could just kill the army because he's got tunneling claws. Like force fields, basically.
This guy feels like he has to carry the whole world on his shoulders. He's like, all right, I heard we got a roach problem.
I got this, bro. And now, oh god, I heard we got a roach problem. Attack!
We got a really big roach problem. Need backup. Okay,
rumors confirmed. Roaches are a problem. Stephano coming after TT1 from every angle. Another beautiful engagement by the French Zerg. TT1 lands some force fields, but does it really matter as the roaches burrow right under? And Stephano will wrap up game number 2 once more convincingly.
Super convincing victory over here by Stephano. Takes out all the sentries. GG is called by MTW TT1. Yeah, kind of what we expected, but I did not expect it to be as one-sided as it was.
I kind of did. Okay,
well,
I kind of did.
I'm proud of you, man.
With all due respect to TT1, I mean, Stephano's on another level. We've seen that.
Yeah,
Stephano's Codeath level. We can say that.
I mean, of course, Stephano is on another level than TT1, but still, TT1 is still one of the best or one of the better Protosses outside of Korea.
Probably top 10 outside of Korea.
Yeah, of course, in Europe there are a lot of Protosses who are probably just as good, but for North America, TT1 is a really good Protoss. So you expected him to at least put up some sort of fight.
Yeah.
The way that this was, as you said, I think just not a very well thought out all-in. I think that's all we can say about it.
What we can say is that now TT1 can say, all right, I've got a week to prepare for my next week's match. I'm going to study my opponent. I'm going to prepare more relevant builds. And next week I'm going to win $150, just like Stephano did this week.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a division which definitely has opportunities for TT1 as well to advance. He made it to the finals last season, even made it through, he had to play the playoffs though, but he even took out Red back then. But yeah, Stephano just seemed one size too big right now for TT1. I think that's pretty much the only way we can sum this up. But yeah, I do want to emphasize on what you just said, Ben. You have 1 week to prepare for these matches. You know there's $150 on the line, so you definitely want to do some research. How can you go for an all-in which is as weak as this as against Max Rose? I mean, okay, if you play against maybe Zergling Infestor style or something like that, it would actually make a lot more sense. But this all-in against a player that you know who loves to max out on roaches, or at least is kind of known for that, just that doesn't really add up in my mind.
Didn't go that well. So we're trying to get Stephano onto Skype to see if he wants to have a little talk with us about that game. He is Stephano, and he might want to go to bed. It would not be I mean, Stephano's literally said, I would rather sleep than play in the final of a tournament before, so he might not be interested in an interview right now. So we're going to kick it to a very short commercial, folks, and maybe we come back with an interview. Maybe we come back with another game. So don't go anywhere. You can find out in just a few seconds.